Hey guys, welcome back to Cabin View Ventures. So we're up on top of the hill today and I'm gonna load up some of this wood and bring it down. So this was like a test pile that I made last winter. So this stuff has been up here for a year now. This is all red oak right here. And I wanted to test out this spot to see how well this would dry. So we're up on the hill. There's some sunlight up here now, but only because it's wintertime. In the summertime, there's no sunlight up here. So the only thing that really dries this out is the wind. So I wanted to find out how well the wind will dry out this pile of firewood. We got a little bit of hackberry on this side, but this is, I think there's a little bit of ash in there too. But this pile, that back part is all red oak. So, and that's what takes the longest to dry out of everything I have in here. So we're gonna take this down, split a couple of them and test out the moisture content. This stuff's a little damp. We've had a lot of snow and rain lately. That's why we're gonna split into it, actually see what the moisture content is. Yeah? Alright, just be careful, okay? Knock off all the mouse nests. This stuff isn't gonna be ready to burn, but you can tell by the way it feels. But I think one more summer and this is gonna be good. I bet you all this stuff is right around 25, 26%, maybe a little bit higher. I don't think it's gonna be, I think it's all gonna be under 30. That's fine. Oh, that's the one that broke. You know what, bud? That's not a tree, that's a branch. That's just a branch sticking in the ground.
Ready, Dad? Look, you can't see it.
You know, just be careful. Look, see that big tree right there? It's a big hickory tree. That branch fell off of that hickory tree and stuck in the ground. Look how far it fell.
Like from over there, from that tree right there, from all the way up to there.
Yep, all the way from the top that fell.
Wow.
Yeah. It stuck in the ground and the other piece broke off and was laying on the trail. Isn't that wild?
Hey, if I try to find this, I just need my legs a little bit bigger.
You can try. I don't think it's going anywhere. Oh, this red oak feels nice. This is going to be really good firewood next winter.
It's like stuck to the ground, but it's doing it again. It's not. Whoa, that was. We're not really even going to.
Yeah, just be careful, bud.
I mean, I gotta be careful when I climb up. One. I think I would need satisfied. Wow, what's this?
All right, that's a pretty good load. I don't want to put too much in because we got to go down that steep hill and it's still, the ground's still a little frozen this morning, so it's going to be a little slick, so we need to be a little careful. Here's another good example of using up some sycamore if you have it too. I made this floor for this little wood rack right here just a makeshift rack. I had some little ironwood trees I had to take down and use them for the supports underneath, and then threw a couple slabs of sycamore down there. Right, let's head down to the splitter. Alright, so let's test some of these out and see how the moisture content is in them. We'll check a couple of these smaller ones, and then some of the bigger stuff, like this I would split down again. So we'll split into some of these bigger ones and check what the moisture content is inside. It's going to be below 30, but they're not going to be ready to burn yet for sure. So, and it is a beautiful morning right now. You know, I think we're finally done with the snow. So now we just got to get everything to melt and dry out. But the mornings right now, you know, are nice and crisp. Everything is still frozen. So a great time to get out here and get some work done. Later, early this afternoon, everything's going to be warmed up and just a muddy, sloppy mess. So I like to get out here early and get as much done as I can. And then I really just got to focus on, you know, splitting and stacking this pile. I got to get through this. You know, this is about a cord here, and I got another cord behind it, maybe a cord and a half that I need to get split and stacked so we can get our next load in here and cut up. And then we're also going to do a little MPG test on the Silverado. I've done a couple videos on that now, just kind of telling you guys where I've been for the first 1,000 miles. And it's, you know, just under 10 miles per gallon is what I have been averaging. I'm at 1,600 miles right now. It does seem like it's going up a little bit. So I need to do a pretty good drive today. Some back road, a lot of highway. So we're just gonna see how it's doing, and I know it's gonna get better. I'm just curious on how good it is now compared to where it was at 1,000 miles. So we're gonna find out today. All right, let's pull. We'll split that one. We'll split that one. That one's good. That one's good. That one's good. So we'll test these 4. And then let's split 4. We'll test 4 that are good, and we'll split 4. Let's split 5. Try not to spill my coffee. Let's split 6, actually. They're right here. Maybe 7. That'll be good. Let me bring you guys in so you can see this better. Let's see here. That ought to do it. That ought to do it. So these 4 are already a good size. That one's 16.1, 17.0, 19.0, and 16.0. So they're probably, usually what I find is the ones that are about 16 or 17 on the outside are probably 22 to 23 on the inside, maybe a little bit less. So they're really close. Let's check. Man, these guys are all 16.4, 17.9. Oh, that one's 22.4 on the outside. 17.5, 18.1, and 18.4. So let me, what's this one over here? 17.1. So that just had like a wet spot on top. So these are all like 16, 17, 18 right here. So these will be good ones. Same that we got on the outside with these 4. So we'll see how that compares to the inside moisture content. Everything is frozen right now. It's just like a block of ice. Kind of got a tight space here, but not really one I would split. I don't want to split that one again. Let's throw that one back. Well, that's a nice piece right there. That's a nice piece. I had a little bit of rot on the edge of it. Okay. We'll get the split side up. That's the side we'll measure. You can see, I don't know if you can see or not actually, but there you go. So there's one that the non-split side and the fresh split side. You can see the moisture. You can see the moisture in it. Split side, split side, split side. And split side. Flip it back again. All right, so here's one. Am I in the picture? .20, 20.9. Well, that's not too bad. It's not ready to burn, but that's not bad. See? So that's the non-split side. 16.0. Remember I said they were going to be just over 20. 20, 22, 21.9, 21.7. So they're like right at 22. This is going to be nice dry wood. Same thing there. 22.7, 22.6. These are all going to be right around 22. 23.4. 22.0. 24.2. That one's a little bit higher. I can get a good stick. 16.1. 17. 25.2. 23.2. So there we go. We probably averaged out to 23. 23.8. That one's 23.8. So we'll call it a 23 average, which is pretty darn good. You know, this stuff, like I said, This is all stuff that I cut and split last winter, stacked it on top of that hill off the ground, you know, in a nice neat stack. It was actually stacked tight. You know, I had 3 rows because I had almost a full cord on that rack that I built up there. So even though it was stacked tight, just getting some good wind on it up on top of that hill, this stuff dried out just like it should. You know, after a year of drying, we are right at 23%. So, you know, another spring and summer, and this is going to be good firewood for the fall and winter. So pretty happy with that. And then, you know, what I'll probably do up there is I don't know if I want to build a big like a big rack to just loose throw firewood into and just let it pile it up and let it dry that way. I know, you know, when you do it like that, you really don't need to cover it because it'll, you know, kind of piles up into a pyramid shape, and that helps the water run off of it, helps the air flow through it pretty good. So, you know, I know guys have a lot of success drying wood that way. It doesn't need to be a nice looking stack out in the middle of the woods. Nobody's going to see it. You know, stuff that I have up here behind the house, I put in a nice neat stack because, you know, anybody can see that. People driving by, you know, guests that come to the house. So I don't want that part of the yard to look like a mess with just piles of firewood. So, you know, that stuff will stack in nice, neat rows. But out in the woods, who cares? You know, I just want it to dry and get through it as fast as I can. So, pretty happy with how this turned out. All right, guys, we're just heading out in the truck. We are on our way to Hershey, Pennsylvania. It's about a 20-minute drive, or a 20-mile drive. So we're gonna get a good sample of how the fuel mileage is doing right now in the Silverado 2500. Again, this is a 2024. It has the 6.6 gas motor, and new for 24, these have the 10-speed Allison transmission. So I will check back in once we get there and see how we do. It's going to be mostly highway. I've got a couple miles of back road, and then we're going to jump on the highway for the rest of the trip. So right now we are almost a mile and a half in, and the MPGs are climbing at 7 at the moment. So we will check back in once we get there. All right, so we just got here. You can see 19-mile trip and 12.9. So that was 3 miles of back road and then 16 miles of highway. We were actually at like 13.3 when we pulled in, and then just driving through the parking lot, we dropped to 12.9. So, you know, about 13 was our average for this 19-mile trip. You know, this thing just seems to struggle right now on the highway to get good mileage. Back road mileage seems to be going up a little bit, but you know, highway, that's not too good. 16 miles of just highway driving and to only get to 13. So that's where we're at right now with 1,600 miles on the truck. That camera is so nice when you're parking. All right, we just got back. So basically the same results. That was 20 miles. We made a quick pit stop on the way home. I had to go through a little drive-through lane and get something to eat. And exactly 20 miles and 13.0 mpg. So if we sit here for a minute, you know, it'll drop down to 12.9, but same exact results as our trip there. All right, guys, we are back. So starting to second guess not going with the diesel. I don't know, any of you diesel guys out there, let me know how you're doing with fuel mileage. I know mine's going to increase as I keep driving it. You know, right now I'm only at 1,600 miles. But, you know, that was a good highway trip right there. And I was at 13 mpg, which is where I've been since I bought that truck. So I'm hoping it goes up, but I don't know if it will. I know most of the diesels are getting double that, if not more, a little bit more. So, you know, you are really doubling your range by going with diesel over gas, which far outweighs the extra price of diesel. Around here, diesel's about $1 more per gallon than 87 octane is. So, you know, it definitely pays for itself in the mileage you're getting back out of your truck. But I don't know. So if any of you guys out there have diesels, let me know how you're doing with your MPG. I'm curious because, I don't know. Maybe we're going to get a diesel here soon. Who knows? Alright guys, that's going to wrap things up for today. So I will do a little time lapse of getting all this wood stacked. But thanks for joining us. If you like the content, please subscribe, hit that like button, and we will see you on the next one.